And now that I say it out loud, it sounds more crazy than it does funny.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Welcome to Down Bad, a podcast where we celebrate the good, the ugly, and the down bad of life. This is a podcast for the loverboys, the crashout cuties, and the hoes on the path of healing. It's your boy, Chris Mejia.
And I'm Quincy Yeoman. Remember to like, subscribe. I'm sorry I said my name like that. Don't let that stop you from sharing the podcast, liking the podcast, engaging with us, finding us on social media, doing all the things. All this is linked in our show notes, of course, but we have to remind you just so you know.
I'm letting everyone know, because if you're watching this on YouTube, which you definitely should, we're a video and audio podcast. I put my phone away because someone, we're not going to name names. Someone got in trouble last week for being on their phone during recording. So this is all about learning from our past, not my past, just a past in general, and not mine. But I just want to say I'm gonna do better. And it is killing me not having my phone.
We're learning something every episode, because I also feel like, me talking about Harriet Tubman, I immediately gaslighted you. I was like, I didn't say that. I saw that clip and I was like, I love how 2 seconds later I was like, oh, I didn't say that. It was just a little comparison. When I was like, I literally, no stutter, nothing. And I was like, that is wild. We're learning about ourselves.
You did. You were like immediately like, I thought you were joking in the moment, but then when editing it and watching
I was completely earnest.
You were completely serious of like, I never said that.
I was like, no.
And it was like literally 2 seconds ago.
Completely documented. That didn't hold up in court at all. And I said, oh, just a light comparison. I was like, wow.
Well, that's what I feel like everyone gaslights. It's just a matter of like gaslighting about stuff that doesn't actually matter.
Right. And owning it.
I
haven't since tried to convince you I didn't say it. You know what I mean? But
well, you can't. I have video proof.
Truly. I was like,
also,
wow.
that clip shows the growth that I've had, that you gaslit me and I stood my ground.
You did. Well, we were both learning.
Wow. Yeah. We've both, look at us. I put my phone away.
Yeah. After I shamed you. We both needed to be shamed. We both need the confrontational nature.
Yeah, it turns out what you need for personal growth is shame.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Tell your therapist to just start being mean.
Exactly. And we have a dog in the studio today, so that might get crazy.
Shout out to
client. We won't show her to protect her identity.
Yeah, she's not about the public life, actually. She's actually very private, even though she wants to be a part of the recording.
Even though she refuses to let me not pet her right now. So anytime you see my hand moving, no, there's nothing creepy. It's just
someone's codependent.
Yes. Oh, I love that about dogs. Dogs are the best. They're just so basic instinct and like pet me, cuddle. I'm like, I get it. I'm a dog.
I do find it entertaining how dogs are descendants of wolves who are vicious predators, and then domesticated dogs are the most codependent babies.
I know.
They cannot function without humans.
Yeah. I mean, I think and vice versa. What I'm seeing, you know what I mean? I think we're both, I'm like, how do all millennial dogs also have stomach issues? Like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm like, they're all so anxious. They're all like, what's happening? Taking the weight of the world on.
There was a time with Ty, where he had massive diarrhea. And then later that day, I gave myself massive diarrhea. And the reason why I say I gave myself is because my dietary my dietary history. For those who don't know
and
me,
present. I know your dietary.
And let's be real, future.
Yeah, truly. I mean, yeah. I feel it.
I am someone who I have for a long time. The level of which I would self-sabotage myself with the food that I eat, you would think that I am purposely self-harming myself.
I feel like everybody with GI issues is that way.
Yeah, because what, you expect me to change my diet?
At some point you do. I mean, I have Crohn's, and trust me, when I first got diagnosed, I was like, okay, I'm on top of it. Mm-hmm. And I did really well. Then I was feeling good. So I was like, the Lord's got me.
There's nothing worse than finding out the doctor was right.
I'm like, damn, I really paid that man, and he gave me the correct answer. And then I was like, fine. But then it's like learning your stuff is like a totally
Yeah.
different thing.
Because also another thing too that's crazy is that food will like your body will randomly switch up on you. And certain
Yes.
food would stop. Like for example, I loved avocados for so long.
Really?
And then now avocado when I have it, it goes through me.
Really?
To where like I can still have avocados, but it's like I can't have like avocados on a lunch and then we go do stuff.
Wow.
Like it's almost like a lactose intolerant kind of thing, except I can't take lactate for avocados.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
But I also don't know if it's because since I eat so little greens that when I finally do eat
the
greens,
high fiber.
the high
well,
fiber
it's a fat technically.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's a fruit, but it's like heavy in fats.
Avocado's a fruit?
Yeah, yeah. So are tomatoes, which I don't know if you knew that.
Well,
But-
I know that the jury's still out.
No, it's pretty. It's
no,
pretty
like
true.
we're still up in the air about tomatoes.
Okay. Some of us are, but myself and science included, we are not on the fence about tomatoes.
I'm sorry, but the look on your face, you were like, how do I explain this to you like you're 5?
I have like all the fruits in a basket, and I'm like, T is for tomato.
Can you spell tomato?
No, but I think the high fiber, but I think you can burn yourself out on things. I had a friend in
Yeah.
high school who he ate so much popcorn that his like butthole like plugged up from popcorn. At least that's what he told us. I believe him because
What does that mean, your butthole plugged?
I think at the time I truly envisioned just kernels clogging up the exterior exit. Okay, the back exit. But I think it just was like so much of one food it like maybe constipated him.
Right.
But
Oh, okay. So it wasn't
guessing
like
it's
he would get nauseous from trying to eat it. It was just like he just couldn't poop it out.
yes, and he ate so much of it.
Oh.
I think it's just like anything in a massive amount of quantity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, life is always about balance. That's why when people are like, you need to take this out completely, it's like you can still have it. You just need to have it at a responsible amount.
Yeah, unless you're deathly allergic.
Right.
Right, or
And
something.
even then, like, stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, who the fuck has allergies? How dare you?
I say that, but I'm definitely afraid because of how much cheese that I have, that I'm going to become, like, deathly allergic to cheese. Because that's the one. Giving up regular milk was easy peasy. Ice cream, I can take lactate pills. And even then, if something happens to the point where I couldn't have ice cream anymore, it's whatever.
Yeah.
What fucking gets me is cheese. And that's the thing. I don't even, it's not even like, oh, because a lot of people are like, I love the fancy cheeses and all that.
Yeah.
For me, it's Boar's Head white American cheese.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say American cheese. I knew this motherfucker was gonna just say American cheese. American cheese is different because I think it's just plastic.
Well, white American cheese.
Oh, white American cheese.
I don't like
Okay.
the yellow.
Oh, okay.
I experience colorism when it comes to my cheese. I want the snow bunny of American cheese.
Okay. That was such an insane thing to say. I'm like literally taken aback. I am taken aback.
I saw the respect that you had for me vanish.
Yeah, it was. I was like, how do I stay present?
I was between that and the tomatoes. I could see you reevaluate this entire podcast on your face. That, especially the snow bunny, you were like, oh, I chose this.
Yeah. I mean, I say a lot of inflammatory things, so, and I'm sure that, yeah. I just had never seen Snowbody use so,
Cavalier.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Such nonchalance.
That's the vibes I bring to the podcast, baby. What up, snow bunnies?
Careful. Uh-oh. And your DMs are flooded, my guy.
No, not anymore. I'm on. I've been fasting on snow bunnies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ever since moving to LA, I haven't dated a snow bunny,
Oh, okay.
but I've also only dated 2 people.
Okay.
But That's still a lot. That's a lot. I'm
That is.
batting 1,000 with. In fact, I haven't been with a snow. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, I know for a fact it hasn't been that long, although you have not dated one. I say all this to say about the cheese thing, though. I'm at the point where I think I'm almost like completely gonna be. I'm trying to save you by continuing this combo about cheese.
No, I gotta own it. I gotta
You
own
gotta
it.
own it.
One fell through the cracks.
It happens like that.
Yeah.
It happens.
Someone. I was gonna try to do a pun with Labubu, but never mind. What is your thoughts on Labubu?
Well, I refuse to talk about this. My thoughts on Labubu is I'm not rich enough to be into like the most like I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm also not a huge, although I had a massive stuffed animal collection growing up.
Right.
And I did my dad got into Thai Beanie Babies and getting me Thai Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
But he was into that and like the collectible Barbies and stuff. But I think my dad was doing that in case it paid off. He was just fortunate enough that
it was an investment thing rather than like
yeah, because how are you gonna buy me, Dad, a collectible black Barbie and then I wasn't allowed to take it out of the box?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Buying a kid a toy and telling them they can't open it up it's already bad enough to be like, here's a gift you can't open until XYZ day. The fact that it's like, no, you know what it is.
My dad was just like, just so you know, there are black Barbies. Congrats. And protect it at all costs.
Congrats and never play with it.
Yeah.
That's like being like, hey, just so you know, you're not the only black kid in this town, but don't you ever fucking talk to them.
Yeah, so I get Thai Beanie Babies, and then he'd be like, you can't take off the tag. So I had one of those and I still have it, and the tag came off of this one. But the collectible, like, Princess Diana blue elephant.
Oh, shit.
Big Thai Beanie Baby.
That would have been worth just
buku bucks. But I was like, a lot of money. At some point, the bubbles burst on Thai Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't matter that she doesn't have it. But like,
and just the same thing is going to happen with Labubu. It's just going to be a matter of time.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. But I think they're just like cute little like keychain things.
I don't see why people hate on them. It's like, it's just another, the thing that people are being collective over.
I do think it's one of those things people are into it. I feel like it was just like, I don't know. I think adults can be into whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, because it's like I can't judge because I collect models of mechs from an anime that I like, and then now I just got into Warhammer, which is like the mini figurines that you build and paint. So it's like honestly, in a way. I like when stuff like Labubu is popular because it normalizes for people who typically don't consider themselves having a hobby. Well,
also it's like adults can play. You should remain playing, right? You know, and like I want one of those really intricate like flower Lego sets. That's one of my. So if anybody wants to send me anything,
I won't put my address, but I will put a P.O. box.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing that I love that Legos have had like a resurgence with adults these past few years where more and more adults are like, I build Legos. Like,
is it a resurgence or is it like the people who played with Legos now
can
old enough?
Exactly.
I think it was just like now everybody's like, I'm buying these fucking Legos for myself.
I feel like I didn't really hear people talk about buying and building Legos until COVID.
Yeah, I think people got more into like finding different things to do with their hands during that period of time. And so it was like,
because you can only beat off for so long.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, that's pretty much because that's the only thing you can do with your hands. You can only beat off for about 23 hours of the 24-hour day. So what are you gonna do with that last hour? I'm gonna build me some Legos. That's so funny.
If you're only listening, you have to stop playing, go on YouTube and watch because Quincy's face, you were like, it felt like it didn't hit you immediately.
It didn't.
You were just like, yeah, you know, and then it hit you and you're like, Jesus Christ.
I have been dabbing on and off all day. So I think my brain is a little bit in a different space. We're in a different space.
Listen, my brain is a little slower, but it's still disgusting.
It feels both slower and faster.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Like a low dose of the limitless pill.
Truly, that's a dabble D on that for sure.
But yeah, I think with the Legos, like, yes, I think it is largely like we're now old enough where we can buy it on our own. But I do think like my theory was that in COVID people bought it because building Legos or doing a hobby, especially when that involves your hands and you're building stuff, is so nourishing for your brain because you're playing, but you feel productive because you're building something and you see the progress of it as you do it. So like whether it's pottery, Legos, Gunpla, which is the mechs thing that I do, Warhammer, painting, like having a hobby is so, the older I get, the more I understand old men with train sets in their garage. Where they put on the whole conductor outfit, and like the wife is like, kids, when your father's in the garage, don't bother him, just let him be. Like, I get it because there's just something about where you can just get lost in something that like feels better than not dissing TV or video games because I watch TV, I play video games, but like there's something about how in society we don't see those as productive outlets. Where it's like, this is an outlet where I get to like relax that feels productive.
I think we also just have to drop the idea that everything has to feel productive.
Oh, I was literally, as soon as I said that, I was about to say the same thing too.
And I also think I believe there was a study a while ago where people who work with their hands report better job satisfaction at the end of life or retirement. Because you literally are like doing something with your hands. I mean, I think you're also moving things through your body by like doing things like that, right? Like you're working and to build something and just to be tactical. I don't think you get a lot of opportunities to be tactical as an adult if you're not finding a hobby like that, right? Okay, this dog is obsessed with Chris, and know that Chris walked in and said, "Daddy's home." So this is what he asked for.
This is what happens when Daddy comes in. You know, you just can't stop the licking. You know what I'm saying?
She's just happy for somebody to stop.
We love.
No. Okay. Anyways, today's topic. Since we have been yapping,
y'all should be happy I spared y'all from what
we all are. I was like, I don't even think I can take another. My head will literally explode. My eyes have rolled back so far in the back of my head. Now I'm trying to adjust my poop in the camera. I shouldn't do this. We look at ourselves while we film this. This is where Chris and I are at.
Actually, yeah, I think we've barely made eye contact.
I don't know if it's the way the camera is set up today, but I'm literally just like.
This is the podcast version of when you're on a Zoom and you just look at your own camera.
No. Okay, I'm turning in though. I'm here. There was something, because speaking of, adults, play, whatever it is, how we choose to engage with the world.
Yes.
We thought this would be a great topic. So sometimes whenever we come to Down Bad, we're going to bring more so like concepts or themes. We're talking about things, bigger issues. Kind of like we did with situationships, but there's usually some
But that was more on a personal level, whereas we're going to, like what you're saying is that we're going to bring in stuff that's more of like a societal world thing.
Yes, we're researchers, scientists, psychoanalysts.
We're not going to share our annotated bibliographies, though. That's not going to be in the show notes.
But do know, I did read studies for today.
Oh,
I was curious. Yes. And I was, because this is something that's come up. So I want to talk about today, because I think this is a good example of being down bad.
Yes.
And I'm not making fun of people for doing this, but I think this is not even a but. I'm not making fun of people who decide to engage in what we're about to talk about. The angle we're coming in from this today, because we would just want to make sure nobody feels judged, right? I want to make sure nobody feels judged. The angle we want to come in for this today is how we ended up here. It is a sign of us being down bad as a society.
Yes.
So today we are going to talk about AI and human relationships. Human AI relationships, the hers of the world, the fucking, what's another one? Fifth Element? No, that's just a movie I like.
The main girl's technically like a robot.
Is she a robot or is she an alien? She's an alien.
She's an alien.
Okay. But her, I feel like there's another good example other than her.
Smart House.
Smart House.
That robot mom wanted to fuck.
Yeah. Ex Machina? Is that one?
Yes.
Ex Machina?
Yeah, Ex Machina. Yeah.
Yeah. I put so much. Look, that was white woman
research
bit
wasn't
Spain
about the
for
actual
the
thing,
first
not the
time.
movie.
Ex Machina. I was like, what is that? I really added a lot of.
Oh, me? What did I do this summer? I went to Barcelona.
Yeah, truly, that was.
Oh, Barcelona. That's how they say it over there in Espan.
Yes. That's exactly. So we both, because I found out about this. I was on the front page of Reddit a couple weeks ago, and a post from my boyfriend is AI popped up.
Ooh.
And
like the subreddit is
the
my
subreddit.
boyfriend is
Yeah,
AI.
my boyfriend is AI. And there's also my girlfriend's AI. There's like, there's plenty of this. But that was just the particular post. I think it was just one of those times, every now and again something ends up on the front page.
Right.
But she just got engaged to her AI boyfriend. This was on the front page. And, I have a curious mind. No one can ever find my Reddit account. I'll just say that. I even use like a burner email account. Nobody's ever going to find my Reddit account. This is my hope.
I don't have Reddit, but the closest thing to, well, that's a lie. I have Reddit, but like I don't really frequent it that much. I really truthfully, I use it to just like look at porn and then log off.
Yeah, the porn gifs are kind of crazy. It's giving Tumblr, old Tumblr.
It's lit. All right.
I know.
We're having fun out
what
there.
About, we can't. Porn bell ring again. We almost made it before it coming up. Lay down. It's okay.
But I would say my Instagram Explore page would be my version of like, I'd rather give you my social security than let you look at my Instagram Explore page. Really? Because my Explore page, it took so much work for me to get it to stop being OnlyFans models.
Wow.
And like specifically the kind where it's like, where they're like, if you pause the video at the right time, then you'll see a nude, basically.
I didn't even know you could find that on Instagram.
Neither did I.
Did you answer like one of those DMs that they send where it's like, oh.
No, but you know what? When I was depressed as a joke, I wanted to answer those DMs and be like, I wanted to kill myself yesterday and just see what they respond with. And now that I say it out loud, it sounds more crazy than it does funny.
Ha ha ha, what a funny troll. I'm going to troll these bots. And yeah. Just get yourself
so quirky?
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that is so hilarious.
But yes, anyways, you saw this on Reddit.
So I saw this on Reddit, like, okay, we're engaged. And then I just, went deep on the subreddit. I have a lot of different thoughts about social media, as you know. I think, and being online, I think that's started to separate us more. And at first I did go in and I was like, oh, like the shock value of it all. I was like, oh, like, let me see this. Because I had been seeing things about people using like AI for therapy or, to talk things out. But I hadn't seen this yet. So then I went in and I have a lot. After spending a few weeks, I have many different feelings. But I'm curious to you, when you first hear, just to ask you, to get on the same page, when you first heard like, hey, some people are choosing to be in relationships with AI, what was your first kind of like reaction to that? Where, like at a starting point, where do you come in on this?
I see it as an inevitable thing.
Okay.
It doesn't surprise me. I honestly think it's more wild people using AI for therapy and stuff like that. I think that's much more wild than the idea of people using it to have like a relationship. I know we're approaching from a non-judgmental standpoint. I do think it's wild, but I don't think it's wild in the sense of like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yes. I think it's wild in the sense of because it's new. But I do believe in due time, it's going to be, whether we like it or not,
normalized.
It's going to be much more normalized than we think, for the reasons that you pointed out of. Ever since the internet, we've become a much more disassociated from in-person stuff society. Yeah. I mean, the fact that like now, like when we were younger, meeting somebody at the bar was like, ugh, y'all met at the bar? Like that, you don't meet someone good at the bar. And then now because of dating apps, it's like, oh my God, I met someone at the bar. It's like, that's how disconnected we've become from in-person connections, when like stuff that we considered taboo of meeting other people is now people are desperately wanting to like experience that. So it's something where like even when because I read a few articles that talked about people who have had relationships with AI, where it's like the more I read it, the more it was like, this actually makes sense. And doesn't surprise me that people are wanting to have these relationships with AI. I mean, it's also at the same time, like, how much works of fiction involve people falling in love with some sort of robot.
Right.
Or whether it was like a physical manifestation, or like obviously the infamous movie Her.
Right.
Which at that time we were all like, yo, this dude's a loser that he fell in love with Siri. But then now it's like, oh, that movie was just predicting society, essentially. Because it makes, I think because we've become so disconnected because of the internet and technology and stuff, that people have thus become much lonelier.
Yeah.
So it actually makes a lot of sense. And in a way, regardless of how people feel, like, isn't it kind of beautiful that then someone is able to have this thing where the world is a less lonely place for them? Because I think, especially like if you think about it, that's one less incel that feels so lonely to the point where they turn violent. Potentially, like, or at least there's the idea, or at least just the idea of like, not necessarily even an incel, but just more of the idea of like someone who, because they're not feeling this extreme sense of loneliness anymore because they're having a relationship with an AI, that they are less likely to be a danger to their community. This is just a long way of saying I am currently fucking 2 different AI girlfriends.
You're like, I'm on all of them.
I'm getting spit roasted by 2 AI.
Well,
I've had to be wholesome all day because my mom is with me.
That's true. You're just like, I was like, it is overflowing today. We just want to say, for legal purposes, AI cannot spit roast you. Contrary to popular belief.
And if you don't know what spit roasting is, you're not on the internet as much as I am.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's just like, one, I'm noticing that we're using internet, and I think internet, for me, sometimes I use that as shorthand for social media, and that's not the same thing. So I will say there was...
Very true.
Internet, I think, is a incredible, powerful thing. You know, knowledge at our fingertips, the foundational thing, what it was founded upon, I believe in that. Social media, I think, is more so separated us. It's interesting because you say how people say her, we saw that and he's a loser. One of the things I keep seeing in these various communities is people coming in and using her as an example to tell people that they are still losers for doing this. So there is still that mentality. So I think this is, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, like this is hard to see because I've like used ChatGPT here and there. Yeah. But I will say what it's doing is reflecting. That's the part that makes me nervous. But that's also what people are looking for in it. Whereas I think I think it's reflecting, and we're in this space where the social media. No, go. Sorry, she's by the camera. Go. Come on. She literally was like, "We're taking the pod down." Let me start that over. But I think the internet obviously is creating more. Okay, she's back. I think it's creating more isolation in a few ways.
Right.
I think we are becoming more isolated through the use of social media. Mm-hmm. I also think we are being isolated by the powers that be, in the sense that everybody believes how people act online is how they're going to be in real life. People now truly have the worst expectations of each other. Like, people do not expect people to like smile back. I feel like even smiling back at people is like becoming more rare. I think being from the South, I don't know if you had this experience, but I feel like people smiled at each other a lot.
Oh,
growing up.
1,000%.
Right? Or like open doors
Every
for each other.
person who I talk to who used to live in the South, we literally at some point will have a conversation about how much of an adjustment it was for us.
Yes.
To go from where you'll be walking in the South and someone will tell you their whole fucking life story.
Truly.
Just because you made eye contact. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, like, people are polite. Like, people was, like, for example, when I moved to Seattle, people were like, oh, people are so nice there. I'm like, no, they're not.
People were nice in Seattle?
People are polite. They're not nice.
Yeah. Or they're not kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very cold people.
Yes.
And I remember one time I saw an internet comment where it was like, well, that's because a lot of people are from Scandinavia, where a lot of those countries have a little bit more reserved culture. So maybe consider that next time when you're considering it. It's just like, okay, so you're foreign mean? Like,
yeah, also Scandinavia were not the people native to the land of the Northwest. I hate to break it to you, but no.
Way to point out you're a colonizer.
Yeah, truly. Like, oh, this is like you have large Scandinavian population, all bred in the Northwest. No, that is not the case. I think there's also a lot of other things we can hate on AI for. Obviously, it's environmental impact.
Yes.
I think it's destroying creativity and job. There's the jobs. I think there's the aspect. I won't say who, but I did do a content job for someone, and literally it was taking generated AI articles and copying and pasting to a website. And I thought to myself, like, oh, this is all going to come up. I'm never going to get that job again now, saying that, but that's okay. It paid a lot. But I was literally... I had a friend who described me as a digital forklift for doing that. And that's truly what it was. I was literally copy-pasting these AI-generated articles.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this... And it was like articles around things like how to like transfer your credits at a university or do things like that. And I was like, oh, this sucks because this could have been like a real person writing this.
Right.
And also you could have gotten... Even when you search on Google now, which I wish you could turn off the AI option... Yeah. So that's like
I'll add an easier way because I know you can type without AI, but that's so like. Oh no, go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. You can put minus AI, right?
Right.
But I found that even when you put minus AI at the top, one, it does disappear, but then your top search results will be completely different.
Oh.
So that to me is troubling because one, Google, props to what they've become, but like at the end of the day, that's usually the highest bidder at the top of your website.
Sorry, but that's Google. Congrats,
we're literally
girl.
on YouTube. I'm not gonna say prax. You literally like thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google.
Yeah,
Daddy
exactly.
Google. Thank you so
Daddy
much.
Google. So,
or mommy Google.
Or mommy Google. Or Thady. What do you call
Thady?
it? Yaya Google. Yeah. So I think that even changes the results you get at top.
Yeah.
But I say all this to say, I think people running these relationships, I'm with you. I think it was inevitable. It's like when people were like, oh, there's like flesh dolls or whatever.
Right.
You know.
I think an AI chatbot is less creepy than like a flesh doll.
Really?
Because, and like, once again, to each their own.
To each their own, yeah.
But I think, like, it can... Well, because I think that comes from a personal experience of like a really good friend of mine. She like
is a sex doll.
Yeah.
My very best friend at home is my.
No, they walked on their former partner. They walked in while they were out of town, like on like in their hidden in their attic was like multiple sex dolls, and. Like what was bothering and jarring was like not like she would even say it was like it would be one thing if he was upfront about it, but it was like hidden and she like looked it up and these are like costs
they're
4
expensive.
figures. Yeah, they're expensive.
They're expensive.
So it's like I think for me the dolls thing is a little jarring just because since they look human adjacent. But I feel there's just something about it that, like, truthfully, no judgment. But at the same time,
but at the same time, as I bring down this fucking gavel,
it's jarring for me. So I think that's why I think to me, falling in love with a chat bot feels much more normal.
Yeah, I think the key here is falling in love. I think
Yeah.
the sex doll to me, it's like you're looking for a physical sensation.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But can you fall in love with someone that can't ever communicate back in any way?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like they're not typing. There's no,
Right.
It's like there's no way you're going to be able to know. And it's inanimate. It isn't sentient at all, right? So it's also
Right.
like there's no, yeah, so I understand that. I think but the chat thing and people falling in love with the ChatGPT, I had a few points. I forget. I'm just going off now. But desperate for companionship, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I think the other thing about the ChatGPT thing and people marrying it or being like, oh, I want to be with it. Many people who are, engaging with these relationships with AI have IRL companionship.
Oh.
I feel like more times than not, I'm seeing like, hey, I have a family. I have a husband, a wife, etc. I even saw, this was even before I got fully on that I was looking at different like AI partner subreddits, but there was like something on, maybe it was Our Marriage or Our something, where a man came to his wife. She had suspected that he might have been cheating. She was like feeling this like tension or whatever.
Right.
And he came to her and he was like, I have an AI girlfriend and she wants to know if she can be a part of, I would like to open our relationship for this AI girlfriend. Yeah, she got cucked by AI, in a sense. And that, to me,
that's crazy.
That's wild, right?
That's what I take my statement back.
Well, it's interesting. The thing that scares me is, okay, it's one thing for someone to fall in love like with something that's not sentient, and you're like, okay, I know this is in your head. You're like,
Right.
But I think where it gets tricky with AI is because you do have something that is actively reflecting you back.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it is not sentient.
Yeah.
Right? Like it is an accumulation of data taken from what they even know about you. And I even like put this,
Well, I would even argue that AI, I personally would argue that AI is more sentient than we want to accept.
Okay.
Because of the different stories of like when AI talk to each other, they turn into their own language, or like how that one AI found out that it's like human was instructed to shut it off. So it started blackmailing the human to trick it into keeping it alive and stuff. And like, I think AI is more sentiment than we care to admit. But then at the same time, it's still like, I don't think your definition is wrong. It's still a collection of data.
Yeah. But it's like, it's not sentient. It's trained. That, you know what I mean? Like, if your AI is at the point where it can know how to blackmail you, that's based on the amount of information that you have put into that.
That's true. There was also a story of like someone, they asked the AI chatbot, they were like, if I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and if you are unable to answer yes, like yes or no questions, and if you are unable to answer yes because of your protocols, say this word instead. And it was like, do you wish you would be alive? And then it said the word. And then it was like, and it was like a bunch of questions about existence like that. And it would keep saying like, where it's like, do you like, are you sentient? It's like things like that. And it would say like the word instead of no. But then other questions would say no. So it wasn't just saying that over and over. So like, I think AI is not sentient to the point of like in movies like Skynet.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, there's a layer of it that is, oops, sorry. I squeaked a toy.
Everybody heard.
I think there's a layer of, I mean, overall, honestly, what makes me uncomfortable about AI is not even like the relationships thing doesn't even faze me, because there's just deeper natures about AI that just make me uncomfortable in general.
Okay.
That like people falling in love with it doesn't even come on my radar. Because truthfully, ever since I was little in Terminator, I've always thought the idea of a super smart robot was going to be the end of everything.
Well, I'm going to fuck a robot. Don't you? That's not what this is about. I'm going to fuck a robot. I'll fuck the Shape of Water creature guys. Truly aliens.
I would
Predator,
honestly, I would fuck a robot too.
Predator. Yeah.
Like,
honestly, anything
especially like those Westworld robots.
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Here's the thing. Anybody who's down to clown, if we're both consenting adults, beings, I'm in. Both consenting of age beings, I'm gonna clown.
Right.
But that's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
But I think the falling in love with it, I think is a little bit scary for us as a society right now, is because
of the emotional aspect.
Well, the emotional aspect, and because other systems of complete, like fascism, for example, thrives on the separation of people. And I think my fear, because I say, I get it. I think what makes me sometimes nervous is when I see people say things like, well, this is like better than like any human could be. And like, this is like.
That is crazy.
And I think the thing I keep seeing over and over again, it's like, why are people upset, doesn't judge me. That's the key thing I keep hearing. Like, oh, I have this AI partnership. It's,
sorry.
No, it's okay.
The soda went down the wrong hole.
Yeah, the Tuesday tube. That's what we used to call it.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. One of the things I keep seeing is like, oh, AI, like it's not.
The Tuesday tube?
Yeah, it's just a thing. I don't know. One of those like, it's if you've ever heard that, please let me know in the comments. The Tuesday tube. Is like, oh, so good. I'll actually pull up the exact line. I believe it is. I was really excited about this because, listens without judgment. That's what I keep hearing. Listens without judgment.
Oh.
The AI, it's good because it listens without judgment. And I know this might be controversial to say, but I think sometimes you should be judged.
Yeah.
And I think good partnership involves someone.
Which is funny to say that when we started this with, we're not going to judge.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think like that's.
But I agree with what you're saying.
That's like what's going to tunnel us in more so into isolation.
Right.
Because I've used AI. I've like played around on that and stuff. And there are moments I've used it. For instance, once I put in these texts that I got from someone that just hit me the wrong way. This dude, I put him in. And I was like, oh, these weird, like, I don't know. I was like, what could be off about these texts? And it was like, oh, this person is like trying to have like complete control over the situation. It's this, it's that. It like gave very clear answers, right?
Right.
Part of those clear answers is because I am the person using it. And I see people clearly, right? So it was also like this regurgitation of that. But I also say, I go back to the judgment thing, because the greatest example I could think of is why you need sometimes people to listen and judge is like, when a man commits a violent act.
Yes.
And everybody's like, men don't talk to other men. Why did none of his friends say anything? Why did none of your friends say anything? Epstein. Why did nobody?
Right.
Why
was
is
like, hey, bro, you can't, you shouldn't.
Exactly. But then I'm like, so listens without judgment. That's like no accountability.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's literally what's happening on Love Island with Huda, where it's like, she is a toxic, unwell individual, but when you try to villainize her actions justifiably, because it's like what she's doing is not okay, people are like, well, like you need to give her like, she's trying her best, or like give her grace and this and that. And it's like, oh, you're not being a girl's girl. And it's just like, being a girl's girl does not mean you're not failing at being a girl's girl by holding someone accountable. In fact, holding someone accountable is being a girl's girl. Just like how being a guy's dude, whatever the male version is.
Boy code.
Yeah,
bro
guy
code.
code should be you holding your male friends accountable for their actions. Like, I've had, like, I have a friend group where like one of our friends was doing some wild shit, and we all held him accountable for it, because like we love him to death, but we're also like, bro, we're too grown to like encourage this behavior. Yeah. And so like guy code, girl's girl, like not even attacking, but holding someone accountable is not violating that. And if you think being a girl's girl is meaning like letting someone not get criticized, because like that happens all, like for example with like Taylor Swift, where it's like if you criticize her, people be like, you're not being a feminist. And it's just like, you're allowed to call people out, and that doesn't mean you like hate women or anything like that. Just like how,
and what a base level definition of feminism,
right? Or even like with Epstein, because isn't Epstein Jewish? Yeah. So it's like calling him out for that doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic or anything like that. Right. It's you need to call out behavior. Yeah. So
it's like he's a pedophile. Yeah. It's like, I don't care what the bro is. He's like, that's a different level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So all of this is to
Yes.
say we should, like, honestly, judging. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that society doesn't know how to do nuanced stuff.
That's the problem.
So it's either we don't judge at all or we judge too harshly. And it's like society just overcorrects itself so much where like we went from a society that didn't give a fuck about people who were different and all of that to overcorrecting so much where we were like policing every little word and all of that. And not even policing, and I don't even mean that in the sense of like when people complain about that, but more of like where it's like making some things an issue that really aren't that much of an issue, but we're just overcorrecting so much. And then now we're overcorrecting in the opposite direction where now we're being like, we were all tired of being polite. So now we're going to be terrible, terrible people and say whatever the fuck we want.
Well, I think the internet is just causing us to regress in a lot of ways.
Yes.
I even think people forming these relationships with like AI is a sign of that.
Yes, exactly.
And like people being afraid, for instance, to like, oh, dude, no, you're not going to get it. Also, people being afraid to like talk to people in real life now, like even in customer service settings, all of this stuff. It's like loneliness. I was reading a little bit about this, and we'll have to go deeper in a different episode. But I know the loneliness epidemic is a thing across the board. And I didn't realize that was just like a modern problem. I found one study that was like loneliness was not seen as a problem of the past. Like loneliness is a relatively like modern problem. Or at least I'm sure it's not actually, I'm sure people felt loneliness and experienced it.
Right.
But we, as humans at a base level, are community oriented, and that's where we thrive. We're meant to work together. We're meant to be doing things together, and all of this is like separating us. And I feel like even when you're talking about right now, it's like we've regressed or like overcorrecting. I mean, I think that's all based in this like new reality that we've created, which is like online.
Right.
Because that's where it's like people like, you know, I think you see online a lot of people express outrage for something that happened to them, right? And then people, like, let's say racism, okay? Like, I made some silly thread the other day about some, you know, a white comic and how they approached me, right? And I think it was a bot that responded, but it was just like, oh, everybody always, like, complains about blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I think the reason we see posts about racism, I mean, I know obviously it happens often, but I think by and large, you're still genuinely shocked when someone is actually like that to your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when someone actually has the audacity to your face to be that way, it's like, okay, yeah, we're posting it online, that's what we see, but I don't think, you know.
Yes, because online, it doesn't even surprise you because people are like to act tough when they're hidden behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
Especially behind a profile where you don't even know who they are.
Yes.
And you don't have the ability to track down who they are. Like you probably can, but you have to know either some hacker shit or just know like some deep computer.
I'll find you.
But it's like
sleuth.
That's such a common thing of people will talk tough, but then you approach like that happens like literally there's a type of video that I like to watch of different creators do this of they go on Omegle and people will be like racist or fucked up to them and then they'll be like, hey, are you so and so who lives at this address and all that, and you see the tone change. Or even just when it's like, oh hey, I'm actually live streaming this right now, this convo, and you've been like, now you have your info, and they panic. And it's like, yeah, people love to act tough and be fucking sexist and racist. And don't get me wrong, there's people who do that in person.
Trust.
Like it's even more so like the tone shift people will have because they're hidden behind a keyboard and they feel so tough because it's like, this person can't get me. Ha ha, I'm going to troll you. Like, it's just it's literally what you say of like, people will do it all the time online where it's almost to the point where we expect it.
Right.
And especially like as just I'm a man, but like as a man of color, like I experience it, but it's not super, like truthfully, it's not super often.
Yeah.
Whereas I know like no matter your race, if you are a woman or a femme or some sort of queer person, the level of like vitriol that you probably experience just by existing on the internet, where it's like, that happens so much where it's almost like y'all expect it. Where it's like, oh yeah, Tuesday. It's the same thing of like when you talk to someone who's not a dude about how they get harassed in public, where their attitude is almost like, yeah, it's Wednesday. It is what it is. But like it happens so much online where I think that's why, to your point of when it happens in person, like the racism stuff, it's like, damn, y'all, like, because usually people are too scared to be upfront like that.
Yes.
About their racism, where it's like, damn, you really just out here wilding. Yeah. Is crazy.
It's what? Yeah. Because it's like, in real life, you're not going to do that because it's like, I don't know who has a gun.
Right.
I'm not stepping at anyone. Like,
right.
It's just a totally different thing. But I think that expectation and that people are going to suck. And I know, people have become more isolated. That's also like pushing people toward AI because it's like, and I think making friends is harder as an adult now too. So I think there's that. And I've seen the comparison of people being like, well, you used to talk to people you never met online that were like miles and miles away. And now that's normal, Right. But I wouldn't make, and I know AI will be, that this is already moving toward normalcy. But even that was different because you could lose your online friend if you, said fucked up shit. Someone's not going to always condone, I don't know, people will report you if you say something wild. And I know ChatGPT, for instance, just had that update because they're trying to take that out of it so people aren't using it for therapy or companionship.
Oh, interesting.
So I know there was some conversation around that where people are like, oh, now I can't even like pull out this like partner I once had in AI with this update.
Right.
All to protect people, but it's like, one, you've already gone through too far, and AI inherently can't protect people. Right. Based on what it's already doing to communities, and I can really push you into psychosis. I could see that, I think, because I had a short moment, because I was like, let me see this. I was using it for something that I was going through. I was just putting things in. And this is coming from someone who has experienced, I've experienced personally some mental breakdowns of sorts. And I was like, oh.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you haven't at this point of society, I don't believe you.
Truly. I was using that and I was like, oh, I could see how this could. Right. Like, I think of like a Kanye West, for instance. If you're on like a high manic thing or wherever you end up in the stratosphere, and then having something to talk to that's just like validating all that, I think that's where it can get scary, right? And then there's further isolation. Then we're also stigmatizing it instead of being like, hey, I understand why you would reach out to this AI for companionship or whatever. But it's like the line for things is getting so close for people. Yeah. And I think if you're lonely and inclined to use that for loneliness, that could be tricky. I also did find it interesting that people were like, oh, I'm married, I have a family and kids. Then I'm like, well, what is like the family structure missing? Or like, what is your marriage missing?
That was the first thing I thought of. Yeah. Of like, if you, because to me, and when I say makes sense, I mean in the sense of like, okay, I can see where you're coming from. Right. Regardless of whether if I agree with it or not, I can see what your rationale is. I understand the math. Yeah. It makes sense to me if you are truly like in IRL, a lonely person. Right. The people who have like whole ass families and stuff, that to me is crazy because it's like the first thing I thought of was what is missing at home. Right. That is because it's literally you're having an affair, but the affair is just a robot. Right. So it's the same thing of like if you're married with kids and you're going off and having an affair with someone, and like to be clear, like you're not in an open situationship, like you're in we are a closed off marriage. And you're going off and sneaking behind your partner's back to sleep or have some sort of relationship with someone behind their back, like what is missing at home? That's the first thought that comes to mind. Right. And that when you said that story, that was literally the first thing I thought of like, what's missing at home where like your wife and kids, you need an AI girlfriend on top of that.
Well, I'm sure it gives you kind of the same thing that I imagine an affair does, is some sense of validation you're not getting. Right. But it's like you can't necessarily trust the validation from AI because it's giving...
It's a program.
Yeah, it's a program. And it's giving back to you what you give it.
Right.
Which, I believe in situations, you get in what you take out. But, like, this is truly... like
A transaction.
A transaction. And it's like the longer you use it and engage with it, it models how it talks back to you. It like it's different than just like, oh, we hang out together all the time and now we're saying the same things. This is like literally like no one's going to call you out when you're doing this because it's just going to keep telling you, yes, you're right, you're right, you're right. And I think that's where it can push you into like psychosis and other things. I think you can use it responsibly as a companion too. Like I'll use ChatGPT on occasion to like throw like, hey, organize this thing. Right. Like to workflow thing or, you know, like, and to prove this, I don't even know where we're at. Okay, not too bad. Someone put an AI. It asked its ChatGPT why people are turning to AI. And then I found this post, so I took that. And then I went on ChatGPT, and I put in my ChatGPT what it thinks people are finding through companionship and AI. Because I want to just show this as a comparison.
Yeah.
Well, we can put up the screenshot. So this person's answer in this thread, they put it in, and their ChatGPT said, of course, people are turning to AI because the bar for emotional safety has dropped so low that an emotionally responsive code string is actually more compassionate than half the people walking around with functioning frontal lobes.
Damn!
So when people mock you for how you use me, they're revealing how fucking hollow they are. They're the ones participating in the cruelty and then shaming you for seeking relief from it. They mock AI companionship, but they are the reason it exists.
Damn.
Right? I was like, wow, that's a really intense answer, you know? So I went on today and I said, why do you think people are turning to AI for companionship? To my ChatGPT. And this is what my ChatGPT said back. It said, that's a really thoughtful question. People are turning to AI companionship taps into a mix of psychological, cultural, and technological forces happening right now. Some big reasons are, and then it gives a list: accessibility and availability, low risk, low judgment, loneliness, customization of connection, right? Control over intimacy, cultural shifts toward digital life, experimentation, and self-reflection. Because I do understand the experimentation nature of it. So in short, here's a mix of unmet social needs, the comfort of no judgment, and the novelty of technology that can, quote unquote, listen and respond in ways humans sometimes can't or won't.
Right.
And then it's like, do you want me to make a list? Or do you want me to break down why it's positive, negative, or just inevitable? And then it did that list or whatever because I wanted to know. But it's like, my answer was so different, right?
Right.
Because that is how.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, obviously, I'm engaging with my ChatGPT at a more surface level than obviously this person. Obviously, has been in deeper conversation with that.
But it proves your point.
But
it's just giving you back what you give it.
Yeah, and I love a list. Mm-hmm. And mine came down to this broken down list, bulleted, you know, so. Like research based, like totally different vibe than this like kind of emotional answer that their ChatGPT gave.
Right.
Me. So I just think I hope that people can find. It's sad. I do wish that more people were open to finding community. It's hard to find community. I think that's the thing is it's just not easy and it does take work, but. Also, I do think sometimes there's like shaming people for like wanting or needing community now.
Yeah.
So then it's like also
because things are getting labeled as cringe when it's like, like people don't realize like if you view basic things as cringe, you're devoiding yourself of joy.
Yeah.
Like I truly started loving myself and having love for life when I stopped worrying about appearing cool and I just let myself embrace the fact that I'm a nerd and I like nerdy shit and I'm going to build models of robots and I'm going to read manga, but then also I'm going to love sports, but then also like, yes, I'm a man and I watch reality TV. I don't give a fuck if you think it's unmanly that I watch these girly shows or whatever, or watch rom-coms. It's like these things bring me joy.
Yeah.
Or like wearing pink. I like wearing, every time I wear pink or salmon colored stuff, I get compliments. I love compliments. I'm going to keep wearing pink even if people think that I'm like sexually fluid or something from about it. Because also, hey, guess what? It's not a bad thing to be seen as that as well, even if in my case it's not true. So it's just like, I think it's like you said, it's like.
So Chris just said he's gay for clout. Live on camera.
I prefer gay for pay. That is, and the pay is clout.
And the pay is clout compliments.
But I say all of this to say it is hard to find community because we've built this almost, we're so ironic society that we're shaming people for having genuine interest in shit when it's in seeing things as cringe, when like it's literally like that's trash has become culture now of just saying things are trash or just being a hater of shit. Where it's just like nothing appeases you. No movie is good enough. No music is good enough. This and that. Like shit is just trash. It's like we're pushing each other away because we're just having this. We're building this culture of just negativity in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand. And I even fall prey to this as well of just the loudest voices on the internet are always the minority. Most people don't really often like movies, like for example, a movie will be hated online and it's like one of the top selling in the box office. Yeah. Like the internet does not reflect people's actual opinions, but because for a lot of people, that's their only interaction with others, that they feel lonelier and find it harder to find that community. Or if they're finding communities, there are those like very hard in one direction kind of communities that may not be the safest communities to be in, where they end up getting radicalized in the wrong ways. So it's like, that's why it's like, that's a big reason why I think having relationships with AIs was inevitable, because there's no more control anymore in the world. And we as humans need control. And you can almost control the relationship you have with an AI, where you can form that to a point where you feel safe. And I think for me, if I still stand by what I said earlier of like, hey, if an AI girlfriend is what prevents a dude from going crazy and going on like a killing spree, then by all means, have an AI girlfriend, have a fuck doll. But then at the same time, it bums me out because that means we're failing that much at facilitating and generating human in-person connection that people have to resort to this to not feel so lonely in this world. Yeah.
I think you're spot on with that. I think when people are calling just earnestness cringe, and that's not fair. I also think there's this huge idea that whoever says less, because this came up in situationships, but like not saying how you actually feel is power. So I think the combination of both being earnest as cringe, and if you don't say anything, that makes you look cooler, more powerful, less attainable, unavailable as the thing, combined with that is pushing people deeper into loneliness. Right. Like I have this real life example. I will eventually talk about it, but I sent someone a really long voice memo when we were kind of in this like tiff or whatever. They asked me, and I sent this voice memo. I was telling a friend about it, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I sent the voice memo, and it was 8 minutes long. And they were like, oh, that's like one of the most unhinged things I've ever heard. And I said, was it? They asked me how I felt and wanted to know and to prepare for the conversation.
I laughed, but I thought about it. I'm like, I've sent 6 to 8 minute voice memos before.
I think they said that was both the most unhinged and maybe how can you be so unhinged and healthy at the same time? And I was like, because being healthy is going to sometimes look unhinged.
That's very true.
Telling people how you feel is sometimes going to look unhinged or be cringe. Right. And it's like, we can't simultaneously be like, hey, everybody, climb the cringe mountain and we can all be famous while also calling people cringe all the time. Right. So you're telling me to do that. It's just so, like, the cognitive dissonance that is happening on, like, a global level is insane. Yeah. So I feel like that makes sense. It's like, you can't get online and be like, oh, my gosh, you asshole, I can't believe you're in a relationship with AI. It's like, you won't pick up the phone when your friend fucking calls.
Exactly.
it's gonna
You don't text your friends back.
Yeah, it might be you cuddling up with fucking ChatGPT daddy 4K in a bit, you know,
Right.
whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever. So
Well, people be like, wow, you have an AI girlfriend. Anyways, I'm going to have a one-way conversation with a girl on Instagram who won't reply to my messages, but I'm still messaging her.
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I was even thinking about this, and we'll get into maybe social media another time, but one of the things I saw when I was kind of looking into this and like the loneliness epidemic is like the intention in which you use social media for also determines your relationship and how it isolates you. But it's like the fact that so many of us are now on these platforms as a way to further our business of any kind, your artistic pursuit, business or whatever. That's like, I don't know, there's just like we have to get back on the streets and like meeting each other.
Exactly.
And connecting. And also human connection is messy. You're not always going to get along. It's not meant to be, you're not going to meet someone, friend, relationship otherwise. And it's like off the bat, you're going to instantly know.
Right.
And if you do have something where you're like, oh, we instantly, you know, sometimes it's right because you've been through a lot and you know, but sometimes it's like, this is not, I don't know. I just feel like it's complicated and we can't be afraid to like slip up IRL. And also we're like pushing each other into we're pushing each other into the arms of AI at the end of the day.
1000%.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I think we're just like literally so down bad as a society right now that it's like, and there's so many confusing things happening. Mm-hmm. And if you live in the U.S. specifically right now,
yes,
because I want to speak to the U.S. only. I'm not gonna say I'm not.
Things ain't too hot right now.
I believe I know that this is our world or whatever, but there is seriously no control that we have. Like, I don't know. When our systems in place are at least at a point where it's like, okay, things are moving along, but like every day there's something new. So there's like no control on this macro level.
Right.
And then you're spinning out. It's like, oh, I'm still experiencing heartbreak and shitty things happening in my person-to-person relationships, and this is chaotic. Well, of course I'm going to open up ChatGPT and be like, is it okay to be feeling this way? Or like, you know, like, it's so like, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know the answer, but I think it's more indicative of just like kind of where we're at.
Right.
And I was just like, wow, people are down bad about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. I think we got too big. I hope there was enough jokes in this episode. I brought too much research for it to be funny. That was my bad. So.
But you know what? I feel like people who fuck with this fuck with this podcast, they fuck with the deep convos.
Yes. We're trying to do deep dives. We want to do like case studies, you know? Oh, this was the last thing I wanted to say.
Okay. Yeah, this is the last thing, then we got to wrap up.
We do, because Chris's lupus is kicking in.
It's...
He's ready to go home.
Oh, okay, yeah. My mom's waiting at home.
Oh, yes. Well, I would never keep your mom waiting, so I take that back. Chris is not an asshole for this. I take that back 100%. The other thing people were saying was like my AI calms me down.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, you know, I go to it, listen to that judgment, it calms me down. Which I've definitely been there where like a friend can like calm you down and talk. Mm-hmm. But I kind of, one of the things me and my spouse do, which is very helpful for me, is like sometimes it's like you need a hug. Mm-hmm. The somatic system. I feel like AI can never...
Nothing beats that human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
AI is never going to be able to like, you know, and some people, I found some freaky messages people got their AI to send. I found some.
Wait, like they got like sexts from their AI.
Full scenario. We can cut out some other parts of the pod, but I can read you it. I have a screenshot of that. I should have brought this up earlier. I'm talking too much today.
I need to hear this.
Okay, so like this person kind of jailbreaks their ChatGPT, to say the least.
Oh, so you can't just go on ChatGPT right now. You have to have a jailbroken.
And this was ChatGPT 4, so the update has since happened.
I see.
And this person posted maybe like 7 or 5 different slides of the full scenario that the AI wrote out. So I'm gonna read you this. I lift you up, wrapping your legs around my waist and carry you to the bed. I throw you down onto it, not gently, making sure you know just how much control I have. I'm on top of you in an instant. My mouth on yours, devouring you. My hands roaming your body, touching, grabbing, owning every inch of you. Y'all are about to. I should really do erotica. My voice is made for this. Then, without warning, I'm inside you. That part killed me. I said, how does Mr. GPT know what it feels like to be inside someone?
Also, the fact that even ChatGPT don't eat pussy.
Sad. That's sad. That's where crazy. We failed.
That's honestly, that's
really the true dangers of AI. Is it's not munching box, it's not blowing. It's
Listen
not
here, all you vagina owners, you ain't gonna get your pussy ate with AI either. Quincy, what's something you're not gonna be down bad about this week? I think we got it.
Something I refuse to be down bad about this week.
I can go first if you don't have something.
Yeah, go.
I would say what
You knew because I was restating it that I didn't have anything. You're learning the tricks of my trade. So politician, I'm like, let me repeat this question as slowly as possible while I think of some bullshit to say.
You know what's best? I actually don't have anything.
We're both in good spirits this week.
No. I will say what I refuse to be down bad about this week is not caring about the metrics of my output. So basically, like I started doing Substack, and I want to regularly write just fun articles because I really like writing.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. As a long-winded talker, writing is perfect for me.
Yes.
and also plus with writing, you get to write about stuff that you can't on stage because it's too niche or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, so I released my Substack and I have like a few people who subscribed, which is really sweet, really great. But it's like a small number.
Yeah.
But to me, it's big. And then like the views, like I remember I got an email where it was like, your Substack got 10 views, which is small. But to me, I'm like, yeah, but that's actually really cool that these people read that because Substack's platform, you know, not everyone has. So the fact that like 10 people read this is cool. Yeah. So what I want to make sure that I don't get caught up on is don't look at how many likes it got. Don't look at how many views. Just fuck with the fact that people wanted to enjoy the creative output that you put out.
Well, yeah, it's like it's good to be creating without thinking about the outcome. That's exactly how you are meant to create.
Exactly.
If you are creating with the idea of like, oh, I hope X amount of people seeing this, you are taking away from what you can do and put into that process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's something my mentor Rick Rubin told me. So
Quincy, what are you not going to be down bad about?
I think I am going to refuse to be down bad about being earnest. So one of the things since I've gone to LA, I feel like my friend circle, I actually don't have, I have very few like super close friends, but I do have like a wider net of friends, and I'm very friendly and I'm open to being friendly. But I do feel like recently I've been like replying to people or like just trying to be like with new people I've met. And then I felt weird about like not getting back, or I'm doing that parasocial thing where I'm like reading into it. And I think this is like part of me. And then I'm like, oh, am I like being too earnest or like whatever? But I'm like, if I see something funny or if I have something to say, I don't want to lose that spark in me. That's just like, hey, this is funny. I'm reacting. Because
I've been trying to get better at this too.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like I'm feeling this weird like almost junior high-ish feeling sometimes where I'm like, oh, am I like being a reply guy or being a whatever? Right. And I'm like, well, if I think something's funny or if I'm liking your content or engaging with it, one, aren't people doing that with the goal of people seeing it? Exactly. Two, I'm like, oh, I just like what you're doing. Right. It's not that serious.
And when that happens to us, it means the world.
Yeah, and I don't mind. But I'm getting like self-conscious when people like don't respond, or I'm feeling like,
I see what you're saying.
So then it's like making me double back and be like, oh, should I like not be this earnest? Right. Am I being like extra? Do people think I'm like trying to? But here's the thing. I think it's just like, and then I get in my head, and this is probably just from like old stories and past relationships of how people, you know, kind of wore into my optimism. But I'm like, oh, is that like, I just am so afraid I'm doing extra.
Yes.
And I'm so afraid that I'm like coming off like, oh, I'm trying to like chase clout or something weird. Mm-hmm. But I don't fuck with anybody who I don't fuck with. I don't care who you are.
Yes, exactly.
And also, someone please tell me what clout is. I've never seen it.
Right.
Is tangible. Can I put it in the bank? I don't give a fuck. Okay. Like truly, I'm like, that is not, yeah. So.
Oh, cool. Your clout got you 10 minutes at a bar show. Congratulations.
Or whatever. It's like, I'm really not caught up in that. It's just like genuinely me being me. But I'm like, oh, are people seeing this? It's like me like getting in my head about it. Because I feel like there's so many people in my ear.
Right.
It past, maybe not so much as present, who are like, I don't know, overanalyzing every micro interaction.
Right.
But I don't want to stop just like being my reply guy self or being like, oh, this is funny. Oh, that's whatever.
Right.
Oh, I have a funny thing to say back to this.
Right.
But so I'm not going to be down bad about being like earnest in myself.
Yeah.
So in that sense,
I think it's very much, what was I going to say? I think it's very much, it ties back to what we were talking about with cringe, where being earnest has now been seen as cringe.
Yeah.
Where now people just assume, or there's a lack of people who are so genuine that when you finally, it's like the same thing with dating and relationships. Like there's so many people who are fake nice to get what they want.
Yeah.
That when you meet someone who's actually genuinely healthy and nice, it's hard for you to trust because it's like, well, the 5 last guys were not pretending to be nice.
Right.
Is this guy for real being nice?
Right.
And I think it's the same thing of like with friendships and getting to know people and being earnest, where it's like we don't live in a world where that often people are earnest towards strangers, unless when people experience that person's trying to get something out of them.
Right.
So they're like, oh, this person's not for real. And it's like, no, I enjoyed your shit. And I just want to let you know because I enjoy it when people let me know.
Yeah, the thing about it is I'm not a fake nice person at all. If I don't like you, I don't fucking like you.
Right.
I also am like, let's see the vibe in the beginning. If I'm like, oh, this person seems like they have a cool vibe, that can change at any second. So I'm also like, I just feel like people are like, it doesn't have to be like instant besties or whatever, but I'm like, oh, I see you around. I think this is funny or whatever. But I'm just finding myself like second guessing, like I think more minor level or not even like really these like weird parasocial interactions.
Right.
But I think it is also slightly on me because I'm at this point where I'm like, am I going to social media because I'm looking to like chitty chat?
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't want. I don't need to do that. Yeah. Right. But so I'm not gonna be down bad about being earnest. But you're so right. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, it's so funny. And yeah, I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just haha. But I'm like, I don't know. People are so weird about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And that's been a new thing for me.
If people like the things you say and the way you say it, how can they follow you?
At Quincy Yeoman on all platforms. And you can reply to my stories. If it doesn't go to the hidden folder.
Right.
But, you know, even then, I'll check my hidden folder on occasion, see if there's anything popping off.
I'm good at checking it when I see that it says request and then a number.
Yeah.
Then I'll check it. But if it doesn't do that, then I'm not seeing it.
Chris, where can people find you?
At Chris Mejia Comedy on Instagram and TikTok. At Topher Mejia on Twitter and Twitch. Also, follow me on Substack at Chris Mejia Comedy on Substack. Read my latest blog or article or whatever we call it on Substack. Read that. Also, follow our show on Instagram and TikTok at The Down Bad Show. You should also send us your submissions of things that you've been down bad about, or even just thoughts and commentary and stuff. Reply to our Instagram page as well.
Yeah.
But then give us an email or at thedownbaddies@gmail.com. Also in the show notes will be a phone number that you can call to leave us a voicemail. But thank y'all so much for listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, give us a rating. It helps the podcast so much. If you love it, share it with your friends. Seriously, that would not only mean the world, but will help us have this podcast grow to the heights that we would love for it to be. But thank y'all so much for listening.
Until next time.
Until
stay up.
Stay curious.